So I abused this computer. I did some stuff with it that I probably shouldn't have. It's meant for productivity, emails, documents, normal stuff, not what I did with it, but we'll get to that later. I do want to give a big thank you to Lenovo and Snapdragon for sponsoring this video, and also for giving me a chance to give you, one of you, a chance to win $500. Made it super easy. Leave a comment down below. Tell me the first video or movie you'd watch on your new Yoga Slim 7X. Let this run for 10 days. Watch the video all the way through. Give it a thumbs up. You can enter once per day. All information you need, though, will be down below. Okay, so said laptop that I may have abused is the Yoga Slim 7X. I picked it up at CS a few weeks ago, and my first reaction to it had nothing to do with specs. It was in a huge, kind of crowded area. I stood there like a dummy because it's one of those computers that feels like they forgot to put the insides in. 2.58 pounds, 15-inch MacBook Air, the laptop that I've been traveling with for a while. It's a little over 3 pounds. This thing is 3/4 of a pound lighter with a bigger battery. So here's what happens with it's a lot of Windows laptops, right? You buy it, you set it up, it's fast, it's snappy, everything feels great. Then you unplug it and it becomes a completely different machine. Screen dims, CPU throttles, and that's been the laptop experience for years. And that reason alone, I think, is why Snapdragon matters. And I've been following Snapdragon's push into Windows and ARM stuff since the beginning. But the one thing that they got right from the start, and like a home run, was power management. No throttling on full battery, full performance whether you're plugged in or not. Lenovo calls it AC equals DC. It's the same 30 watts sustained on battery as you get on the wall. And right now in the space, only Snapdragon and Apple Silicon can do this. Intel and AMD laptops still throttle. So I knew this going in. I've tested on laptops before, and knowing and living with it are like very different things. So after a couple weeks with this as my main laptop, it's nice to have a Windows machine that just works the way laptops sort of should have worked this whole time. You stop thinking about outlets. You stop kind of, at least for me, kind of rationing workflow. I can just get my work done. So here's like the best example I can give. I finished work about 2 hours before school pickup the other day for my kids. And normally I would drive home, kind of get probably nothing done, then drive back to school to pick them up. Instead, I went straight to school and I worked in the parking lot, just tethered from my phone, full brightness, no power saving mode, no outlet. I actually wrote most of this script there. 2 hours of actual work that I would have lost otherwise. And that's the difference that this thing makes. So Lenovo was claiming 29 hours of battery life. But if you read the fine print with an asterisk, those specs are tested at 10% brightness with nothing running. I got through a full day, almost 2 actually, without thinking about a charger. And if you do kill it and you do have to plug it in, 15 minutes will get you 3 hours. That is like smartphone level fast charging. And for someone who forgets to kind of plug in laptops a lot, that matters. The screen, Lenovo makes really, really good screen. It's OLED. It's got 2.8Ks. It's 2.8K display, 120 hertz, 1100 nits peak brightness, and Dolby Vision certified. But I want to sort of show you what I mean. So just for comparison, here's what my MacBook Air looks like next to the Yoga. Same image on both. Brightness cranked all the way up. LCD as that gray haze. OLED just turns the pixels off, so they're actually black. Colors pop more on the Yoga, scrolling smoother at the high refresh rate. And this is not a versus of those two computers at all. I just want to sort of highlight how good the display is on the Yoga. There's also a bunch of display profiles too, if that's your jam. I'm a display nerd, review TV, so I love this stuff. DCI P3, Rec 709, Adobe RGB. If color accuracy matters to you, you're going to really like this. Most laptops can display colors of like, let's say a 12 crayon box of crayons. Lots of colors, mix and match there. What Lenovo is giving you is like the 64 crayon box with the sharpener built in. You can get a bunch of other colors of reds you never heard of, blues you never heard of. You can just see more colors and you can make them look a little bit brighter. So if color accuracy matters to you, there you go. So under the hood, Qualcomm is there. It is their Snapdragon X2 Elite. And this generation was a big generation jump. You know, sometimes you get little year over year. That's like tiny little stuff. This is a big one. Big one. The generation bumped to 18 cores and the NPU hits 80 tops. And if that means nothing to you, that's okay. It stands for trillions of operations per second. Tops. It's basically a measure of how much AI processing sort of can be done locally on the device. So that's things like transcription. That kind of stuff is noticeably faster now that the apps are running sort of the AI on device instead of kicking it up to the cloud. Microsoft Database, they do all the hard work so I don't have to, has tested over 1,400 games alone and 99% of them run. The only real holdouts are competitive multiplayer games with like anti-cheat software and sort of Valorant, for example. For productivity apps, it's a non-issue at this point. Chrome, Slack, email, Adobe stuff, all fine. If you have something niche for work or school, check before you buy. But for most people, it is not the problem that it used to be. And when you start using it for everyday work, you will notice something else that is weird about it. It's dead silent. Under 22 decibels, you can almost forget that this thing is running. It's like tablet level quiet. So remember the thing I said I was gonna do at the beginning that I wasn't supposed to do? So this laptop has less than a gigabyte of VRAM, no dedicated GPU, obviously. It's built for productivity, not heavy lifting. But I wanted to see what it could lift. So video editing first, through some 4K B-raw footage at DaVinci Resolve. Just side note, make sure you download the Windows ARM version for best performance there. Predictably, it wasn't its jam. Basic color grading, proxy mode, quarter resolution was less than smooth. In that very quiet computer, I heard the fan spin up. That was the first time that I'd heard the fan spin up. But 1080p footage handled it totally fine. Social content, simpler projects, totally workable. I was actually very impressed with that part. So not a gaming laptop, no one's pretending it is, but Spider-Man, Red Dead 2, and Cyberpunk, it's about what you'd expect. Depending on the game, 28 to 45 FPS on the lowest settings, some crashes and a lot of tweaking. Could I play Spider-Man? Yes, I could. After a restart and a lot of like fiddling with settings, would I want to? I don't think so. Older games though, totally different story. Lego Indiana Jones, Lego Batman, locked at 60, never dropped. If you got kids into classics, it handles them no problem. So I did what I wasn't supposed to do with this. And some of it did well, some of it performed kind of as you'd expect. It's a really good computer, but there are a few things that I would probably change if I was designing stuff. Ports, 3 USB Type-Cs, and that's it. No headphone jack. No cellular option too. I think 5G on this would have been a huge plus for working from random parking lots, and ARM and cellular tend to play nice. I did ask Lenovo and said that's kind of reserved for their business side, but I think it would have worked here really well. Keyboard is also really good. The keyboard's got more travel than MacBook Air, 1.5 millimeters versus Apple's 1, I believe, which I appreciated after sort of an hour of typing. Trackpad was also really good. There's an optional touchscreen too, which I would absolutely go for. Super fast, responsive. I like that it's there. If you travel a lot, you work from random places, live in a browser with a dozen tabs, enter emails, write documents, maybe cut together 1080p content for social, this is your jam. This is what you want. Light, fast, gorgeous, all day battery life, and full performance unplugged. If you're a video editor working with 4K footage on client deadlines, and like obviously, this is not for you. If you're looking to play modern games, Lenovo's got a full suite of laptops with the Legion name that will crush it for you. And some with the Yoga name that'll be pretty good too. If your job depends on specific software that might not play nice with ARM, just check, but for the most part, that wasn't a concern anymore. For years, my answer to like what laptop should I get for travel has generally been an Air. Not because like I love Apple or anything there, but because it was the only thing that didn't throttle on battery, and that matters. The Yoga Slim 7X isn't just an alternative. In ways that matter day to day, it's actually better. Lighter, brighter screen with actual black instead of gray, double the refresh rate, more keyboard travel, touchscreen if you want it, same performance unplugged, and it starts at $949, which by my keen mathing is about $150 less than the base Air. Only place Apple wins though are ports and then ecosystem if that matters to you. I wrote this script in a parking lot. It seemed perfect. No outlets, no power saving mode, full brightness, 2 hours of real work that felt exactly like being plugged in. That is what this laptop is. It's shipping, if I've got you pumped about it, shipping in Q2, so can't buy it today. I'll put a link down below. But I think for this one, I think Windows and Lenovo and Qualcomm, maybe they just did a group hug, and I really think they all finally figured it out.